Yesterday we are speaking about this regular expression, right? So when we say regular expression is used to for searching particular element or searching particular pattern. Okay, pattern in the sense it might be a mail ID or it might be a integer or it may be a alphabet A to Z or it may be a symbol from your keyboard. Anything else is mentioned as a pattern. It may be in one particular order, like a phone numbers. In early phone numbers, we'll be having first four digit, then followed by the remaining numbers, like pin code. All those things will have certain pattern, like we can able to search those information by using regular expression very easily. Even without using regular expression also we can implement it. The only benefit here is I can able to reduce my number of lines of coding, and just we know the functionality of it. That's fine to find out the element. In case of other language, we are supposed to write logic for it. Here it is not required. You're supposed to know the functionality for it. And I told you that there are different meta characters for using it in a regular expression. Just have a glance of this, and we are having in order to specify a digit, spaces, and for a alphanumeric characters, and for a boundary in the sense for a which mentions the region of it, with white space or without white space. For mentioning the condition I'm having these character, you're supposed to go through it once. And apart from this, if you want to mention in digit alone, non-digit, lowercase alphabet, non-lowercase alphabet, uppercase alphabet, non-uppercase alphabet. Apart from cap in the sense, apart from this, okay, all those things are there. Just have a glance of it. Now we are going to see with this one. Just have typed the code, guys. I'll explain each and everything. I'll explain. I will execute and show you what is going to happen. I told you that here we are going to have three functions, three separate functions there. The first function is all about split. This split function we have seen already in case of string concept. In case of string concept, I told you people by using split, I can split the given data, given string based on the condition what I want. Either based on spaces or based on one specific character or based on an integer I can do it. The same operation can be done by regular expression. Look at here, what I did is I mentioned this is Python training. Okay, I mentioned it. And if I want to split based on spaces, slash s means spaces, I can mention re dot spaces. And one more important key point here is if at all you want to implement regular expression, you are supposed to mention import re. Re is a predefined module. We are supposed to import it. And this function split you're supposed to implement by using re.split. Whatever the function you're supposed to implement from the regular expression, you're supposed to mention re dot then followed by the function name. So if I mention re dot split slash s, it will split based on the spaces occurring in the given string. So here keep in mind that you are supposed to pass two parameter. One is the pattern or the particular condition, and next is the for which string you're going to implement it or for which variable you're going to implement it. You're supposed to do like that. If I execute like this, you can notice that you can find out here the based on this particular spaces it is splitting. There is one space is there and there is the other space. It is splitting based on the spaces. So if you want to split based on the digit, I can mention slash d. So here it will split and followed by here it will split. So let me execute and show you guys. So if I mention like this, it will split only based on the digit. Here say 2 is there and here 3 is there. So only it is splitting based till this one element and till this other element, and here this is the next element. It is splitting like this. And the next one is if you want to split more than one condition, which is nothing but I want to split both based on space and the digit. It is split like this. Okay, so let me show you here. Okay, the first preference is given only for a space, guys, not for the digit, and second preference will be given for the digit. So you can combine your condition like this, but I think so there's no sense here specifying digits. Somehow it is going to give you same thing, but if this digit is there, it'll avoid it. So when occurs together, it will avoid it. So once a digit is alone there, it will never avoid it. More or less, we'll never use the split function, guys. Here in regular expression, we'll be using in the normal string concept itself. But it is better to know what is the split, how it is supposed to use it. And next is we'll be using this find all often, which is the most important one, which we'll be using in a programming concept. Listen carefully. What I'm going to do is I imported RE and I've initialized one string called this is my Python class. Now I want to find out where if there is th is the string which is occurring in the given string. So this is my Python class is a string, right? So here what I'm supposed to find is in the given string, I'm going to find is there is any th is there. Yes, I could find. Here this th is there, and here in case of Python th is there. So what I mentioned, re dot find all. Find all is used for finding it, guys. Split is used for splitting it, and find all is used for finding it. I want to find occurrence of th in str. So if it is found in the sense what happened, th will be there. If I try, I'll show you what to print this. I'll by printing this result, I'll show you what will happen, guys, so that you can able to have some conclusion. What is that result carry? Result will carry the string th. You can notice that the result carries th. If there is some data in this result, then it means that the particular result is not none. So if the data is not there, it will give you none as your result. So what happened now? I'll find out the occurrence of th. Yes, th is there. It is matching exactly at this position. So what happened? Th will be stored in a result. If I give is if result, if some element is there, it will give you only true, guys. If the element is not there, then it will give you false. So now what happened? The element is there. So this if condition is true, so it will give element found, and here okay. And just I'm displaying and showing the result here. It is not required. So in the same case, if I give THE or something, so now I execute, you can notice that this particular data is empty. There is no data is there. Given printf, sorry for it. Let me reduce it. You can notice that right now this particular data is empty. If it is empty, you can notice that this if condition will be treated as a false result. If the data is there, it will give you as a true result. If the data is not there, it will give you as a false result. This is how your if condition works. And if you want to find the exact functionality of a find all, it will give the exact matching value. Here, this find all will give you only your output as a list type. Your output will be of only list type, guys. Make sure that then you're supposed to join it based on certain conditions. Clear? This is how to match it. Now, if I feel that I want to match base irrespective of a cases, I could find two TH is there. Here one TH is there and here one TH is there. But this TH is in uppercase and this TH is in lowercase. I want to fetch all the TH where it is occurring in my program irrespective of the cases. In those cases, what I can, let me skip this one. I told you yesterday itself, right? Fetching, separating your alphabet and integer. Okay, look at here. Irrespective of the cases I want to find. In those cases, you're supposed to add one additional parameter for find all. Okay, additional parameter for find all like this. re.findAll th comma your variable name comma re.I. I is for the modifier which is used to find irrespective of the cases. Now if I execute it, you can notice that you will be finding lowercase th and uppercase th. Amartya, if you want to count it, then you can mention the count function. Or if you find, you can find the length function, len of result. Guys, if you feel that you want to find the count of it, number of occurrence of the particular character, just len of your result. Somewhere it is going to give you only the list type, right? Then you use length of the list, it will find the number of occurrence of the particular string. Clear? Guys, clear with this find all? We'll be using find all often. Okay, good. And next is, so if you want to make use of slash d, so what is slash d we have seen? It is for your digit, right? So if I mention, let us assume this is a session, this is a statement I given. Today I reached office at 10 a.m. Tomorrow I will come by 11 a.m. So here I want to find the wherever digits is there in this particular string. In those cases, if I give re.find.slash d, in this place either you can replace, it is not required to use this one. Either you can replace this character 0 to 9 also. If you want, you can replace with slash d. It's up to you. If I execute this, you can notice that your output will give all the digit what is there. 1 is a separate digit, 0 is a separate digit, 1 is a separate digit, again 1. So I can notice that my output is 1010. If you feel that I don't want digit by digit, I want the entire number by number, in those cases add plus here. We have seen certain symbols, right? Plus, question mark, all those things. Here if I use plus, when I find a digit, if it is more than one digit, I'll mention slash d plus. So if I mention like this, then what happen? It will give you 10 and 11. Clear? Guys, is that clear? Good. People are clear, right? Okay. So if you give d alone, if you give d alone, it will take only one digit. If you give d plus, it will take a digit. One digit can be of any character. It may be of it can be of two number. So a number can be of single. Here slash d in the sense number with single digit. Slash d plus in the sense it might be of any number of digit. So this is all about D and D plus, guys. And apart from the same way, I can mention slash W. Slash W is for a word. So if I execute this, guys, you want this is the same thing, guys. Re dot find all followed by the pattern matching and followed by the string. So if I execute this, you can notice that, guys, the one of the rule is you're supposed to keep in mind. All the other implementation is similar. Everywhere you go, you'll have re dot find all or re dot split. Your first parameter will be the pattern and next parameter will be the variable name. This is how it is going to be. So if I use slash w, you can notice here it will take a character by character. Okay. Then if you want word by word, then what should I do? I should mention w plus. That's it. If I mention w plus, it will take word by word. Today, I reached office. So this is how you're supposed to mention. Make use of this slash d slash w slash yes. You can make use by this manner, guys, if you want it. This is all about the find all. So far we have seen how to implement here split function, and we have seen how to implement here find all function. And next is in regular expression. The next one what you're going to do is search. Searching for the occurrence. You can able to find mention by using search. Here I mentioned that this is a string. This is Python 3. And here what I mention is re.search. What does slash d means? We know the slash d in this means digit. It will search for the first occurrence of the digit. So if you want to if you mention re dot slash d, it will show the position of it. And if you mention result dot start, if I mention result dot start, it means it will find out the it will show you the first occurrence position of a digit. So I guess it is a position is 4, 5. It'll be tentative like 10 to 13 position, I guess, right? It is a 14 position. Okay. So if I mention re dot search, it will find the position of it, where the element is occur, where the digit is occur. And if I mention this re dot start method, it gives the first occurrence of the digit. Okay, not only digit, you can able to find the new line also. The next program you can see it re dot search slash n. Slash n will find the new line where the first occurrence of the new line the given string. I given this is a multi-line example for Python. So what happened? It will search for slash n. So slash n is coming for the first line itself. So if I give re dot start, the start function like this, we are having different function, guys. Just work on it. Just I'm showing you for the start position alone. So if I give result dot start, which will give the starting position, the first occurrence of the new line. Okay, the same way I can able to find the first word slash w. So slash w is going to give you 0 as a result. We are having t as the 0th position. So if at all we are having some digit, it will give you the 1 as your result. So like this, you can able to search for the word or for a new line or for number, or if you want to search for some character like this occurrence of first th. Okay, I can place like this. This is for searching, guys. Previously we are finding the find all occurrence, we have found out, and we are finding the element is there or not. Here this is for searching it and finding the position of it. I can make use of search. So which one you want to explain again, Puja? This line, 16th one. This is occurrence of new line, where the new line has occurred. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So after ninth character, there is a new line. So after 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At the ninth position, not after, at the ninth position. Okay, good. And like this, you can able to search for whatever you want, guys. Here I given only the few examples searching of digit, word, and exact character I given it. So if you want some pattern matching, you can able to match it by using one single statement instead of putting a loop, iterating. All those things are not required. By single statement, we can achieve our task whatever we want. And apart from this, if you want to match a big pattern like a mail ID like this, I can match by using search also. Listen here. What I mentioned is this is my mail ID techie at the rate of sugan.com. I mentioned this is my mail ID. If I want to find out whether this mail ID is there or not, how is this mail ID structure is there? The structure of my mail ID is first there is a word, then followed by the symbol at the rate. Again, there is a symbol here, then followed by one more word is there, then followed by one symbol dot is there, isn't it? I know the symbols exactly what it is. Here I know the exact symbol that is at the rate, and I know that then after this I'm having one symbol, and that the but particular symbol is exactly dot symbol. And after this again I'm having a word. This is the structure of the mail ID I want to find out. As I told you that we can search for a phone number or a pin number, some pattern which has first three number, two number. When you have like this pattern, then I can go ahead with this search operation, guys. Look at here what I mentioned is I mentioned a string, and I mentioned re dot search. Okay, re dot search, and I'm going to mention a pattern. Here you will be mentioning the pattern, right? The pattern is if I want to have, I have a word but more than one character. So I'll mention W plus. I guess you people could remember what is W plus. I taught you before. If I mention W, one single character, W plus in the sense more than one character. So W plus in the sense it means the techie, the first word. For there should be a first word should be there. It can be of any number of character. There is no rule that you should be only one character or two character. Any number of character, then followed by at the rate of symbol. So that's the reason I placed here. Then followed by a word with any number of characters. So word plus. Okay, this is done. Then this pattern is done, guys. Then followed by the dot symbol. So for placing dot symbol, I'm going to mention slash followed by dot. Guys, here this dot plus, if you want to mention a word, I'll mention the symbol of it. Don't be confused. If you want to mention a word, I'll mention slash w. Okay, more than one word slash w plus. If I want to mention a dot symbol, I'll mention slash dot. Don't be confused. It is very clear. So at the rate symbol will be placed as such. The dot will be placed with the symbol dot slash, then followed by slash word plus. Just I'm matching for it. For it's what I told you, Kiran. It is not required for at the rate. At the rate you can place directly. For dot alone, slash is required. Okay. Now let me, Manikant, again. The same doubt is keep on popping, guys. For dot at the rate it is not required. Okay, only for dot it is required. As per the given rule. This is a fixed rule. We can't able to define why the rule is. Okay, listen here, guys. So if I search like this result will find out. So you can able to find the data, but this data will give you output as a object type. So you can look at here what I'm printing here. This data I'm printing here. This is the print output of this re dot match object, and followed by it will give you span, and this is nothing but the index position of where this data has occurred. This information will be given. All those things are not required, but I'm showing you people what this result carries. It will give you the object type. If you want the exact output, whether it is matching and what is the output, in those cases you're supposed to group it. You're supposed to mention result dot group. If you are grouping it, it can able to fetch the data from it. So just I'm mentioning result. If it is there, then group it. or directly you can place the statement here, guys. But what happen if the mail ID is not there, it will throw you some error. In order to avoid that one, I have mentioned inside a if condition. Is this clear with giving multiple match condition? Do you have any doubt in it? Guys, come on, let me know. We are supposed to move for problem solving also. Make it a bit faster. Is that clear? Do you have any queries in it? Clear, right? Good. Okay, okay. The same example I have extended little more. So if you feel that I know that by using result I can able to fetch all the information here. I want to separate this mail ID by mentioning my what is my username and what is my domain name and what is the extension of my mail ID. So if I want to separate this one, how can I separate it? I know that this data is grouped by the variable name called result, the same extension of the program, guys. I can able to mention like this: result dot group of one. Group of one will give you Techie alone. Okay, group of two will give you Sugan, and group of three will give you the extension of it. So like this, I can able to separate the data from my mail ID by mentioning groups. So group is the one element which is used for combining it, and it has multiple parameters. So like this, I can able to separate the mail ID. If you have pattern like this, you can separate it. I can make use of this, guys. Okay, all those things are implementation of a search operation. But know about the search and all those things. But in your programming, you'll be using most commonly will be using only find all. Okay, but have an idea about these things, guys. We doesn't know what kind of questions will be rising, right? So better can have an idea about these things. And next thing is, if you want to find this the same search pattern, you know what is the beginning character and ending character, but does it know what is in between? In those cases, I can mention re dot search. It starts with T, ends with N. I know it starts with C and ends with N. I doesn't know what is the character in between. In those cases, I can place star if I mean star in the sense any number of character in between. So if I execute this, you can notice that it will give you the complete string. So like this, I can implement your regular expression, guys. So complete string that start with T and ends with N. It can be of any number of character, inclusive of spaces. It will be doing. So right now in case of regular expression, we have seen about three important function. One is split, another is find all, another is search. Okay, have a glance of it. If at all you have any doubt, you can let me know in the afternoon session. Right now, I'm moving on to the problem solving questions. Okay, in case of problem solving, we are going to first start with your initially with the control statement. Today we are going to start with morning. We'll complete this control statement. Afternoon we can move on to list and tuples one by one. So I want you people to try out the first question, guys. Maximum I can give for this question is hardly 5 minutes. Check the divisibility rule of 3 and 5. Let me explain this question. You are going to accept a number from the user. So the number might be of any number. You're going to accept only single number from the user. From the user, you're going to accept only one number. The number can be of any number. Here, what is the rule is, if the given number is divisible by 3 alone, I want my output as fun. If the given number is divisible only by 5 alone, I need gun as my output. If the given input, from the input you're going to accept number, right? If the number is divisible by 3 and a number is divisible by 5, in those cases I want fun gun as my output. So if the number is not divisible by 3 and 5, so 3 and 5, I want invalid as my output. So this is a rule. For example, you can take this as an example. For this, you can take the given number as 6. For this, you can take the given number as, if at all the given number is 10, you'll get this as your output. If at all the given number is 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5. I'll get this as my output. If at all the given number is 11, I'll get this as my output. But make sure that this program has to be constructed by using nested if else. Nested if else. So I guess you people know about the structure of the nested if else. If followed by your condition, just let me give you the outline of the if at all you couldn't remember, I'll give you the this one structure of it. I want this program to be done in nested if else. Start doing. You can take 5 minutes of your time, not more than that. It is very basic program. You're going to accept only one number. The number might be either divisible of 3 or 5 or both or not by it. Guys, here it can be of anything, guys. Here this can be of simple if or if else or nest. Inside if it can be of simple if or if else or if else later. Whatever you're convenient, you can place it in. Whatever occurs, all those things comes under nested if else only. Come on, do it faster. Make it faster, guys. Once you are done, you can post in the chat box. Let me check to it. Venkat. What is that, Venkat? You mentioned result equals to 0. The condition what you wrote, the order. Mm, no, the way you wrote is not perfectly matching. The rule is, or you cannot able to write like this. If you want to check the divisibility rule, you can't able to write like this. Okay. Santosh, what I told you clearly by using nested if else. You have mentioned by using ladder. Ladder is very easy. Nested if else. Harika. Good, Harika. Good. According to the program, what you wrote, that is right, Santosh. In case of the ladder, that is right. Okay, but try to write in this logic. Others, what happened? Make it faster. Balnanda. Balnanda, look at your code. Okay. If I give input as 15 for your code, okay, what happened? It will give you only fun as the answer. It will never give me fun gun. The reason is, if you check the condition first for 3, what happened? 15, this condition satisfied. 15 is divisible by 3. But once it display fun, it will go there itself. It will never come further. And moreover, you have written the logic by using ladder. Okay. I guess you people are clear with the if else ladder. Okay, again the same. Narendra. Guys, start make use of the nested if else. I could see people are writing program by using this one. Nested if else. Narendra, you have mentioned made use of single and. Single and in the sense bitwise operator. Don't make use of single and. While a double and A and D means logical operator. I could see don't use this ampersand symbol here. Using this ampersand symbol is not advised here. Why unable to paste? Others are pasting. So are you doing in mobile? Others are pasting. I don't know what happened. Try to cop. Oh, you'll try. Okay, try it. Just a minute, Amartya. I'll check to it. Amartya, what about invalid condition? You left out the invalid one. Pavan. Okay. If. Okay. Mm. Okay, Pavan. Good. Okay, shall we discuss? Come on, let me know. Are you people still trying? Harsha. Harsha, the same thing again, Harsha. Guys, keep in mind, if at all you people are trying with divisibility of 3 first, if I give 15, it will be satisfied. Somehow it is going to give you only 15 as the result. It's a fun as the result, but I want fun gun. 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5. Why is this number, Jansi? 6, 15 and 11. Why is this number? I can understand. Shivaji, then for gun you wrote it. Fun, where is the fun? Fun is not there. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Jansi. No issues. Yeah, good, Amatya, good. I guess few people are posting answers in this Q&A also. Just a minute, I'll go there. Gayatri. Good. Okay, shall we discuss? Okay, listen here. We'll discuss this one. I'll give you time for the next question. Listen carefully. So, what is the rule I told you? You're supposed to accept. Guys, listen. I want you to listen here. Just listen here, ma. You're going to accept single number from the user. So, let me accept number from the user. And after accepting a number, I'm supposed to check a divisible rule of 3, 5, 3 and 5. So look at here. If I write first condition as 3, okay, and if I pass 15 as my input, what happens? This will be satisfied. And we know that in case of if condition, if one condition is satisfied, it will never go on check for the other condition. So should be very careful about it. So I know that these are three conditions has to be checked and one more is invalid. So let me write condition for the valid one. For valid, what is the condition I can write? If the number is divisible by 3, okay, or if the number is divisible by 5. Why I'm writing equal to 0 in the sense? If the number is divisible by 3, the remainder will be equal to 0. As you check for even number divisible by 2 equals to 0. I'll name it a even number, right? The same way I'll check it. If it is divisible by any one of the number only, I can able to come to the conclusion it will be divisible by 3, 5 or 3 and 5. If it is not divisible, then directly you can print outside as invalid. So now for the invalid, I written a condition. I didn't check any part here. If this is true, I'll go further. If it is not true, I'll directly come and print invalid. If this condition is true, then I'll go ahead with this one. The first condition should be checked is the number should be divisible by 3 and the number should be divisible by 5. It should be divisible by both the number. Got it? If it is divisible, then I can print here as fun gun. Elif. If the number, I can check after this either 3 or 5 is up to you guys. Here and let me check for 3. I am going to print as fun. Else I'm going to print as gun. Your logic is completed. Make sure that this first condition should be only this uncondition. You can't able to change this condition. The reason is who will enter inside this particular if condition, either divisible of 3 or divisible of 5 will enter. So once the person enter, I should check the common rule first. Then only I can go with the specific rule. Now if I execute this code, if I give 5, it will display gun as my output. So based on the input I give, it is going to respond. Is this program clear for you guys? Do you have any doubt on it? Come on, give me a quick response. Clear, right? Okay, good. Yeah, you can use ladder also, Manikan. But what happened? I want you people to understand this logic. If you use ladder, there is no sequence at all. I can place this order at any way. I can place first 3, then 5, then this one. I want you to understand this logic first. Divisible of common thing has to be done first. That is the scenario for all your contest. Whenever you're going to have some multiple combination like this, the first preference should be given for the combination element. Then only you're supposed to go over to the next one. Yeah, you can make use of any one of your if, guys. There is no rule that I have given some particular condition here. The same program can be written by using simple if, sorry ma, if else later or if else, or by using whatever you want, if you can use it. I didn't give any condition. If you use later, that is fine, but I want you people to understand this logic, how the sequence is working. Okay, if the condition is given specifically to use this one, you're supposed to use the particular concept. Clear? If you want, you can try the program by using ladder also. But if the condition is given, try to follow the condition. And the next program. Our next program is very easy, guys. Very simple program, but let me see who is writing in an optimized way. Displaying factors for a given number. So if I say 6, what are the factors for 6, ma? What are the factors for 6? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good, Harika. 1, 2, 3. And the given number will be the factor, isn't it? How you people are saying these are the factors? How we are finding the factors for the given number? Divisibility. Good. So we will take the given number and the remainder is 0, which is perfectly divisible. I'll take this 6, I'll divide by 1, I'll divide by 2, I'll divide by 3, I'll divide by 4, I'll divide by 5, I'll divide by 6. Among this, I'll check which are perfectly dividing the number 6 and the remainder is equal to 0, then I'll say the factor. Okay. Will you people write logic for this, guys? Hardly only 2 or 3 lines is there, right, for this. Will you people try it this one? Okay, I'll teach you people how to optimize your code. But whatever your code you're writing, just write. If you know it, try to write in an optimized way. A program for finding the factors for the given number, you can take hardly 2 minutes. The same input operation. After accepting an input operation, write logic for finding factors of a given number. And I'll tell you people what is factor in the sense. Make it faster. Good, Saivadan. Good. Sasikumar. You're done by using comprehension. Okay, fine. But this one, who did it? Sai Kumar or Sasi Kumar? Just a minute, ma. Let me elaborate it. Sai Kumar, sorry, ma. Sai Kumar, but your iteration is taking till n plus 1. I don't want those many number of times of iteration. The number of times the loop executor should be optimized. I don't want this big iteration. I want very optimized iteration. Haika, the same thing. Okay, let me type this one, guys. Some more you people are going to try this one. So let me type this. What this is not I'm expecting. So if I want to find out factors for a given number, you'll take this one, right? For I in range of, I'll start from 1. Since I'm going to divide and check from 1 till the given number, you'll be mentioning starting from 1 till the given number plus 1. This could be the range you'll be taking. For each and every iteration, what you'll do, you people will be doing this, the given number modulo by I equals to 0. Then I'll print this as a factor. This is what you people will be doing it, right? So look at here, how many iteration we people are taking to find the factor. How many iteration? If I give 6, you can notice that the factors will be displayed. We are happy with it. But look at here, how many iteration? If you want to find these factor, number of time the loop executed. How many times it is executing? 6 times, isn't it? If at all, I give the number as 10. The factors of 10 will be 1, 2, 5, 10. So how many times loop should execute? Here loop should execute 10 times for finding the factors of it. The same way if I give 100, the factors of 100 is 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, then followed by I guess 20, 25, 50, 100. So how many times loop should execute? Loop should execute 100 times. Give it the optimized way. I don't want these many times of execution. I want very minimal number of execution and find the factors of it. How can we do it? Saivadan, will you give the reason why you have mentioned the n by 2 there? Yeah, Narendra, why is that n by 2? Good guys. I could see that you are giving a correct answer. Instead of mentioning n, you can place n by 2. That's fine. I do accept it. Reason behind it. If you're saying something, you should justify it, right? Justify me. What is the reason behind it? Don't say it is given in some book. That's the reason I'm giving, ma'am. I need a reason. No idea? Okay, we can check only half and the other half will be the quotient of those numbers. No, not like that. The exact one. Whatever I'm expecting. No. Multiples of 2. Narendra, you are given, sir. Good, Sai Pavan. Good. Uh, oh, Jansi, what you have mentioned? No. Can you find it is a multiples? Okay. Okay, listen, I think see people are in minimum factors to. Okay, listen, a very simple logic. Listen carefully here, I'll tell you. Can you find some similarity between all those logics? Some similarities. Here, if I say 6, okay, if I say 6, till which number I'm having factor? Till 3 only I'm having factor. After this, I'm having original number as a factor. If I say 10, till 5 only I'm having factor, again 10 as a factor. If I say 100, I'm having factors only 50. Again the same number. You can notice that for any given number, we'll have only, okay, for half of the number as a factor. Got it? For any given number, this is a common rule for factors, guys. For any given number, we'll have only the half of the number as a factor, and the next factor will be the given number. This is a rule. So it is not required to check the remaining half. Got it? So it is not required to check the remaining half. It is sufficient to stop at the half itself. So we are supposed to mention half in the sense what you're supposed to mention. You're supposed to mention n by 2. So we'll be making an integer division here. You can make n by 2 followed by plus 1. Is a parenthesis balanced? 1, 2, 3, 4. Amartya, it is very simple, Amartya. For any given number, we are going to have only half of the number as a factor. For 6 till 3, we'll have a factor. Again, the given number will be the factor. For 10 till 5, 10 by 2 will be 5. 100 by 2 will be 50. You can notice that till half of the number only will be having a factor. Again, the given number will be the factor. So it is not required to go till n by n times. It is sufficient to stop at n by 2 times. Okay, till 3 we can go. Then again we can print the last number as a factor if required. Same way, if the given number is 10, till 10 by 2, 100, 100 by 2, 1000, 1000 by 2. For any number till half we'll have it. Okay, so you can come out of it and you can print your number here. Did we written the condition right? So number, yeah, if required. Let me check where the parenthesis balance. This is okay. This is not number plus 1. Previously we have mentioned number plus 1. It is same as like this. Okay. Number divided by 2 plus 1. So if I give 10 or 100, you can notice that the factors are displayed, but the number of iteration what we have taken is reduced. Previously I have executed, if 100 is given, previously I should execute 100 times to find the factor. Right now it is sufficient for me to go 50 times. Guys, here you're right after this we are going to see with the programming. For Each and every programming, I'll guide you people how to write in an optimized way. The reason is often you will be facing this issue called time complexity error. You should avoid it. So all your test cases should be passed, right? So you're supposed to concern the number of time iteration is happening or the space complexity you're supposed to concern with it. So in the previous case, what happened, if 1000 is given, loop has to execute 1000 times. But right now it is 50 times is sufficient. Is this program clear, guys? Is this clear? Yes, right. So initially we have seen n times. Again, we have seen n by 2 times. Okay, now I'll give you one very small task. I'm not going to give you big task, very small task. I want this particular operation to be further optimized. Even this is not the optimized one. I want this to be further optimized. Let me know how to optimize it by afternoon section. Clear with the question, guys? This program has to be further optimized. This is not even an optimized way. Going half of the number is also not an optimized way. I do have one more optimized way. The reason is if at all the given number is like 10 to the power 8 or 10 to the power 5, if the number range is given like this, sometimes you can able to find your task will be very simple, guys. They'll be giving find the factor, but the finding the factor range will start from the number might be you'll be having some constraint part in your program. I guess you people could view it. The number could start from 1 to 10 to the power of 3 or 10 to the power of 5. 10 to the power of 5 in the sense which means that it will be your value will be given within the range. If the range is given with a 10 to the power of 5, what happen? If you are putting like this in a loop, your loop will get stuck over. So try to write in an optimized way. I want you people to find out the logic for further optimization. So this is fine, guys. This is one of the optimized way. But we can optimize this task further. What is that, Amathia? You are mentioned by using this one, right? I'll show it to your friends also. You are mentioned by using comprehension. Your code. What you're getting here? You're getting again 100 as the result. Why it is so? Got it. You got only 100 as a result. Why it is? We didn't print it. I guess we'll print it, ma. Oh God, just a minute. We'll try to print this, guys. Your friends has written by using comprehension. What are the method I told you taught you people yesterday? So it is printing only by 0 and 1. Why it is? Just a minute. We'll look to it. So what you are trying to do here? Here, the if condition you're supposed to modify it as, you're going to take this range, right? So what is the if condition you're supposed to place it? If condition is n by n modulo by I. Okay, the same process what you do is done by using for loop. No need of worrying about the for loop. Here, but you're supposed to concern about this one. Now if I execute it, it will print this value. These factors will be print. What happens? Just a minute. Zero division error. Okay. Zero is included. We're supposed to avoid the zero, right? Just a minute. I didn't notice this one. So this is done. But you can notice that your output should be of not a list, right? Then if you want to unpack it, you can mention star. This is one of the key point, guys. For unpacking a list or tuple, if you mention star, the data will be unpacked. Previously, the data is packed as a list, right? So if you want to unpack it, place star before to it so that it will be unpacking. Got it? Good, Amatya. You can do like this also, guys. If you want, you can do this one, or you can start implementing each and every program by using comprehension. Guys, are you clear? Come on, reply me. Harika, what is that? I keep on posting 1 number divided by 3 plus 1. Let me check it, Harika, once. More optimized one. Okay, more optimized one. You're trying it.
Harika, if you don't mind, can we discuss the same program? Just post this code by afternoon. We'll discuss it. I'm having one more session. I'm supposed to start with it.